Who we are is New Leaf Homes. We are a local builder and developer. We've been around for about 35 years under different names. It is a family business, but we really fell in love with this concept when we got into here at the retreat at Rosemont. And so within 2.5 years, we've put up about 70 homes, and we've got 4 home sites left in this community. So we are very eager to begin our project, the retreat at Cobblestone, because this is a luxury ranch style living with no steps throughout the entire community, right? So it's meant for those people that are looking, not necessarily to downsize, maybe that's important to you. You might be trying to right size. It might just be about trying to find the right space and how it kind of fits into your needs and how you want to grow and develop. So the next piece really is I'll talk about the site, which I think is what you guys are probably gonna want to do. So I'm gonna bring Matt up here. He's our Director of Development. He really starts off everything in the very beginning and how you got the land and what we're gonna do with it and what you guys can expect.
All right.
Hey, nice to see everyone here, some new faces, and seen a couple of faces before through Rosemont. We're a small but mighty team. So we have the front office, and then we have a team behind us that actually does the vertical part of the home. My responsibility is what we call the horizontal, so getting the infrastructure, the roads in, utilities, and all that kind of fun stuff. We are hoping by early spring to start doing what we call the mass grading. So we'll start dozing the whole site, then you'll soon start seeing roads cut in. What's really exciting, as of a couple weeks ago, we got approval. We are going to do what's called a prairie build. So as we're cutting in the roads, we're gonna start going to do the model home and the clubhouse right out of the gate. So the number one question, because we actually do like to listen and get feedback, when we started this community was, are you guys gonna actually do the clubhouse, or is this gonna actually come to fruition? So we always do the clubhouse as soon as we can. It's much easier at this development because the clubhouse is closer to the main road. However, even here, we were able to do this as soon as we can. So with that prairie build, while we're cutting in the roads and doing all the infrastructure, we'll start the vertical side, so we'll start our model and clubhouse, and it really helps us with timing. And it really gives you a peace of mind that, oh, they actually are gonna have this clubhouse. To stick with the clubhouse theme, it is gonna look and feel very much like a copy and paste of what you're in right now. The clubhouse is going to be the same. We are actually tweaking some of the exercise room and some things that have more equipment. It will have a pool, and we will have pickleball courts, tons of landscaping. We're very detailed. We even call out certain diameters of trees, so everything you see here was planted within the past year or year and a half, and it looks like it's been here a long time. So we buy very mature trees. We're really known for our entryway monuments. Very different than what's a typical development. And we always said we're building a community here. So some really fun things that we do with the clubhouse. We have committees when people start to move in. We have a new homeowner welcome committee. Here we have some people that like to really have some fun. So we have a bourbon and wine committee. We have yoga classes, and that's all done by hopefully you people in the room that will move in and set those up. So. As far as the site itself, when you walk around, you'll notice here on average are about 12 feet. At Cobblestone, we're going to be 15 feet on average in between the houses. And I think something that you'll find very soon is our standard is most builders' 3rd or 4th tier upgrades. So I'll stick with the dirt stuff. So as far as your landscaping, every house will come standard with sod and irrigation until you get to your fence. That is also included. And so every house will come standard with wrought iron fencing or black aluminum fencing along the front. And typically, depending on the floor plan, we'll have vinyl off the back. So every lot comes standard with a private enclosed courtyard. And Anthony will get into that on how that will look and why some of these things are predetermined. So as far as the site goes itself, we'll display some beautiful ponds. We'll have fountains. So it will be a true turnkey move-in ready home.
So one thing that we do that we take a lot of pride in, our team will start from beginning to end. We employ everybody. So those guys, those faces are the people that will take you through from beginning to end. And I'll spare some of the details, but we guarantee our homes. We have John here is our warranty manager. He has his own team. So we will guarantee that home for 1 year. We do a 90-day check-in. We will constantly follow up and make sure everything's going on. That's what you guys need as well. And we're proactive with it too. So we don't ask you guys to schedule it with us. We do our first check-in at 90 days. So let's say Nancy moves in, 90 days after you live there, we'll reach out and just say, hey, How's the oven working? Do we see any cracks from drywall? That'll happen when it starts to settle if we're in a cold area, for example. We'll come back in and take care of those things for you guys as well. It's meant to be a transparent process. We understand. How many of you guys have built before? Yeah, okay, all right. I can't wait to hear your stories. I'm sure some of you have had great experiences, some not so great, we get it. Our job is to have what we call a happy, healthy customer journey all the way from beginning to end, right? It is it's a big purchase. Many of you, I don't know how many, some of you may have lived in your home for 30 years. This is not just a financial decision, it's an emotional decision, right? So we want to be there as we help to do that. If this makes sense, we'll give you the information so you guys can make that decision, okay? Everybody takes this Butch up here. We tease him. He's our project manager. He's the boots on the ground. So after you kind of work with sales and design and make your decisions, he'll be the guy that takes you through for about 70% of the build. He takes it very personally. Sometimes we have to tell him it's okay. He cares deeply about your home. He has built many, many homes. He will call you if he says, I don't think this is a good idea. We should try A, B, and C. So he's truly on your side with it. Those of you who maybe have spent some time on our website, some of you know the names of our models already. That's really impressive. Most of them begin with the letter P, which makes it complicated. What makes it unique, okay? We don't just build homes. Matt mentioned it earlier. We'll talk a little bit about this. We build community, but we also build a home that is meant to adapt and grow with you as you kind of change. One thing that I ask that you notice as you go into our model, as you go through the home, there are no steps on our homes. Period. So when you go in from the garage, there is no step. When you go in from the front porch, there is no step. If you want to go into the bathroom, no step. Zero threshold is what we do, okay? Now, you're all going to call me a liar in a minute because we can build upstairs. You do need steps to go up that. But your first floor living, everything is on that first floor, and we do have a very unique design with those no steps. Elevator? I'll get you an elevator, Nancy. Nancy wants an elevator. We're doing elevators. Katie, is that okay? She says, okay. Boss says, okay, we're doing elevators for Nancy. But yeah, that's the idea, right? So whatever you guys need, we'll try to do that for you. I'm actually going to get to the private enclosed courtyards on the next slide, so I'll come back to that. One thing that we have found is that people want light, natural light, as well as artificial light or LED light. You will see, well, it's nighttime now, so maybe come back on a weekend when it's a little warmer, or sunnier. Our homes are meant to bring in natural light. Our entire home, and we'll talk about this in a minute, but all the windows will actually face towards the courtyard. In Montville Township in particular, we have a lot, I don't know the percentage, 60, 70% are actually southern facing courtyards to maximize light. Like it's all, what we love about doing this community, instead of, we will do one-offs, but having a pre-planned community really gives us an opportunity to do what we want and to plan and establish that as well. Okay, the lock it and leave lifestyle, just like it sounds. We're a low maintenance community, snow removal, landscaping, light fertilization. Obviously you have access to the clubhouse, the pool. We will be using, see if I get this right, Katie, we're gonna use hardy board or, yep, excellent. Many in this community here, I don't know what Montville is gonna bring us. We have a lot of snowbirds. We have a lot of people that like to travel. They're in a different stage where they want to now start to see something that's a little bit different. These homes are built for that, right? You're not gonna be taking care of the yard. You're gonna have an irrigation system so the grass is nice and green, so you can leave if you want to. Somebody's gonna mow it, and you're gonna come back. So zero step entry, we talked about that, the bonus room. Smart home enabled security systems, Matt talked a little about what we include. One of the things that we always include in our homes is a security system, okay? Whether you turn it on or use it, that is up to you. Once again, we have, in this community, we'll have 80 some homes. If everybody knows that a security system was installed, it makes for a safer community. We are also working with a local company by the name of Sundance that has done all of our homes in here as well. What do I mean by smart enabled? We'll also run the coax and the Cat 5 and all that good stuff for you guys. 5 locations for TV and internet. But if you want to start attaching security cameras, do the lights and all that stuff, they're ready and prepared to go. And we'll start to talk about some of that as well. Okay. My favorite topics, side courtyards, rear courtyards, private enclosed courtyards. Okay, so one thing that we will do, I think it was Sandy asked me. Was it you, Sandy, asked me about the courtyards? Okay. She asked if we allow dogs. Oh my gosh. We have so many dogs in this neighborhood. All of our homes have a private enclosed courtyard. We have And it's a guarantee, it's part of our base package. There's no extra fee. When you come to me, we're assuming we're gonna be putting in a fence in the front and a fence in the back. We have two different home types. We call them side courtyards and rear courtyards. Most of the homes that you will see, the promenade, the model that you're gonna see next is a side courtyard, okay? But we see the home stacked. At the very back of the home is a privacy fence, about 6 foot tall. Along the front is another gate. In the middle is actually the courtyard in between. So when you're in your living room or in your kitchen, you can't see your neighbors can't see you. I joke, you actually don't need blinds. I told one of our neighbors that. I said, you're welcome to get some covering if you want, but you can't see in. It's meant to be private and closed. We guarantee that privacy. In fact, we spend a lot of time, I say we, Matt really, making sure where our home sites are, protect people's privacy, right? We're a very social neighborhood, but maybe you want your privacy, that's okay. Some of them utilize a rear courtyard because they face back. So there's no neighbor behind you. Those homes can only be built on these lots back here as well. And the idea being that you're gonna look out past that. So for example, if we put this home next to a side courtyard, you might be looking into your neighbor's home. So we sometimes will have to make a change if we see an issue with that. This is something I actually didn't really appreciate fully until we had been here for about 1.5 years and we started moving in homeowners. We talked a lot about building community. Watching it in action has been truly, I don't know, it's been exciting, for lack of a better word. We will initiate, these are some different homeowner meetings and gatherings here at the Retreat at Rosemont. One thing that'll be very, not strange, but kind of funny for us is Matt, myself, Carly, Amy, we'll actually get to know all of the homeowners' names. We might forget yours, we'll probably remember your dogs, just beware, that's just kind of how that works. But we'll get to know you guys, but you guys don't necessarily know each other yet, right? Because you don't live in the community. So one of the ways that we do that is we start to host different events. One of the things that we started was First Fridays. First Friday of the month, any homeowner comes together, a little potluck. Then eventually it'll be taken over by homeowners, and we do everything from bar night. There's a yoga class here on Tuesdays. There's different swim, there's aerobics in there, card night, book club, pretty much you name it. We'll get it kicked off, but then you guys kind of take over. Okay, so I'm very proud of this. So something that's been very important to us, local business, local family. We believe in local community support, philanthropy. We've done here at the Retreat at Rosemont, we set up a fund for every home that's sold. We donated back to Copley Fair Lawn Schools and Police. I think it's about $60,000 to date so far that we've been able to donate back through that. We'll do the same thing in Medina, Montville Township. I'll let Katie decide what we're gonna do there, but as we talk through that. But to bring it to a more local level, smaller, we hosted last fall our first kind of local event here for the Retreat at Rosemont. What do we call it, Amy? Unleashed. We found that a lot of our homeowners, and even some volunteered at a local humane society called One of a Kind Pets. So we hosted our own little event. It was so much fun. We had so much involvement, involvement from the community. We actually really didn't do that much. The community really kind of led the charge with it. I think we raised $2,500 for them and able to get it back. We even got them through, which was kind of fun. So we're really hoping that kind of builds. That's the idea, that we get the ball rolling and everybody kind of takes it from there. Has anybody here done the self-tour, U-tour here or anywhere else? Is this all? I got a couple, all right. Did you do the QR code? Good job, okay. So we have 7 different floor plans, but you'll find, at least I have found, that some floor plans will speak to you and some won't. And they're very different. They range in size from 1,400 square feet to 4,000. Most people seem to fall around the 1,800, 2,000, but we'll kind of go into that. And I'll show you guys what those examples look like. So if you're in this community and you want to tour a home, you're welcome to get me or Carly or Amy or whomever you like to take you through. We're happy to do it. But sometimes you don't want to be bothered by me. Like, I get it. Like, I talk a lot and, like the whole thing. Even Katie's shaking her head there, yeah. You can use the QR code, okay? So you scan the QR code with your phone. It'll pull up a little tag. It is going to ask you for your either a credit card or your driver's license. It does not come to us. We don't see it. It is just security, okay? It will give you a 4-digit code. So let's say you say at 1 o'clock, you're gonna be at 1 o'clock, you're gonna put you're gonna schedule for 1 p.m., put the 4-digit code in. It'll let you in by yourself for 30 minutes. So you have 30 minutes in the home by yourself to take your time and relax. Because you don't want to be rushed through, you don't want to look around with a lot of different people, so I get it. Okay, next steps. We intend for our next meeting to happen sometime in March, hopefully beginning, middle of March. We're going to host that at Fox Meadow. You guys familiar with Fox Meadow Golf Course? Okay. We're going to host it there. We just had a great meeting with them yesterday, kind of talking through the logistics of that. Our goal at that time is to go through and detail floor plans, and then even if you guys want to go into some questions about what they look like and the options and so forth. We're targeting probably late spring for a Muddy Boots tour. Matt kind of talked about his plan of action with getting the roads in. Once we have that, we'll have the site map hopefully completely done, and then we can kind of go through and start to look at sites. Reservation night. Anybody is welcome to join us. It usually kind of starts here and we collect names, et cetera, et cetera. It is a raffle, okay? So we have found that's the only real quote unquote fair way to do this. So you'll put your name in a hat. Matt will pick the number. I don't know, we just made this up on the spot. Matt will be it, we'll call it out. And then the first person will come and they will get to select the lot. You get to make a reservation that night. You don't have to select the home, but you get to hold the lot for 14 days, basically, and then you get to make some decisions, okay? So it takes a little bit of the pressure off on making, I have to make this decision today. So that's what we're trying to do. And it's refundable thing. So it's a $1,500, it's refundable. If you decide not to move forward, get the $1,500 back. So that's what we'll do. And it's a fun night, I promise. We try to make it entertaining.
Please join us across the street. We're going to go to the model. We could float around there, and then maybe I'll run down to the Torino, and then you guys can walk around and check out the two different floor plans. All right, thank you so much.